Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. This is gonna be not from Nitties, even though it says on the top left for some reason. Just ignore the top left. I'm pretty sure it was played on the Nitties client, but this is, I'm pretty sure from the HolsCup. This is HolsCup 21, specifically the quarterfinals between Focus and Xiaokk. Focus spawning in here as the blue orc, and he will be facing off against Xiaokk, the red orc. Despite being a tournament replay, this actually has no spectators here. As you can see, I'll just drop the overlay. Yeah, no spectators, despite being played for an actual tournament. And mainly the reason was that people were spectating other games while this one was just being played on the side. I think the game that was being commentated on was I actually forgot. It was Foggy and Sheik. I actually have no idea who Sheik is, but getting actually as far in, I think, 2 or 3 rounds in of a tournament is a pretty good good indication of skill, I think. So yeah, hopefully maybe I'll see him see one of his ladder replays, I don't know, but yeah, for now I'm gonna be casting this one. It's been a while since an orc mirror has showed up, and yeah, it is not a game between like Lin or Fly or Focus. Well, Focus is one of the players, but at least the other orc player is someone other than those 3. Blade Master first for both sides. Yeah, I mean, despite Xiaokk being not one of those 3, he will probably just be playing just the same, I would imagine. No weird shenanigans here. I expect just the Bestiary Spirit Lodge, Blade Master, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Shadowhunter. But we shall see. Both players just going for the Ogre Magi camps here in the middle. Watcher Ward is being rushed down for Focus, so he will be able to get that himself. Xiaokk just going for the, I think that was the Tome Trapper, and will be able to finish up the Magi himself. So both sides picking up their respective Watcher Wards here. In terms of positioning, it's pretty much the same for both sides, but it is a cross spawn, so I'm not sure how useful these wards are actually going to be. So there's that. +6 claws here for the Blade Master of Focus. So on top of the circlet, that is going to be a pretty nice boost for him. Xiaokk on the other hand, unfortunately didn't get too good of drops. Obviously the circlet was from the shop, but got the Pendant of Energy from the Magi there. He is going to pick up claws from this Ogre Warrior camp, so he will be gladly taking that one. And Focus hasn't actually started his Ogre Warrior camp. Instead, he found a rather low hit point Grunt. Might be able to get a kill here, but a speed scroll will be popped instead, and the Grunt will just run away. Blade Master is still chasing. Not sure if the Grunt can actually get away from the Blade Master, but we shall see. He is healing quite a bit with that salve, but I imagine Blade Master will catch up eventually. I mean, honestly at this point, that's quite a lot of health to actually work through. We'll be bringing his own Grunt. It seems like Xiaokk is going to take the wheels here and manually control his own Grunt, but I doubt you can outrun this many units, and another Grunt is going to go for another block. And that should be a Grunt kill there with the Windwalk Strike. But is it going to be worth it if Xiaokk picks up another claws here? I think the Grunt kill is going to be rather worth it. So he picks up claws number 2, which could have potentially been Focus's, but instead will just be going over to the red side in exchange for a Grunt. So weigh the results there. I think it was pretty nice. I think in the late game it would definitely benefit Xiaokk more. Forgot to use this. Wow, Xiaokk actually sitting on a lot of resources. Tier 2 has just finished, and he is going to be reducing his Shadow Hunter and Bestiary. Same thing going on for Focus. Now placing down the Spirit Hole there. Spirit Lodge. Yikes. Meanwhile getting his own Shadow Hunter. Ring being picked up here, unfortunate, but yep, he did kind of miss out on those claws. Another ring also dropped for Xiaokk, but he should be content with the items he's got. Pen of Energy is also, you know, pretty good when you consider that can be given over to the Shadow Hunter later on. A lot more hexes and a lot more healing waves available.
We're under attack.
Focus is just going to be clearing out the remainder of this camp here. I think the only thing that drops is the potential tome. I can't even remember if these trolls actually drop Tome of Experiences or not, but this time around it is not going to. Intelligence actually gets given over to the Blade Master. A little curious there. I think he just randomly right clicks, but if you want to be a Maximist, I guess you would have given that over to the Shadow Hunter. Ogre Lord camp being cleared out on the top right. Meanwhile, Warlord camp here being taken out by Focus. Ogre Lord is going to drop a Helmet of Valor. So +4 strength, +4 intelligence. That is going to be rather useful for the Shadow Hunter. Oh, +4 agi. Whoopsies. I got mixed up with the medallion there, but it's still pretty good dual stats for the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter is a really weird one because all three stats are really desirable. Agility for the extra damage, strength for the health, and intelligence for the mana. So honestly, he can do with pretty much any stat that he gets. So it doesn't really matter if it was good or not. Blade Master, I am trying to figure out where he is. He is over here, and he picked up the Sobi Mask from the Warlord camp, so that can be given over to the Shadow Hunter later on, or he can keep it if he wants to, I don't know, Windwalk frequently, probably not. But regardless, level 3 on Focus's Blade Master here, and level 2 on Focus's Shadow Hunter. Meanwhile, it seems like it's going to be the same levels for Xiaokk. I actually have no idea where his Blade Master is because he is on the other side. There he is, level 3. So there's that. Both players almost mirrored, really. So the only real determining factor on who would win this game would just be skill. And of course luck, as I guess luck could be extended over to the item drops as well. Blade Master is still sticking around. He is going to pull the trigger here on one of these peons before pretty much all of them will be retreating back to their burrows, I think. The goal line is still uninterrupted, but I think that is going to change a little soon. Oh, not going for the gold line just yet. Sea Turtle camp is going to be cleared out. Meanwhile, Warlord camp is not going to be dealt with by Focus. I think he was distracted by something in the main base. I don't know what, but yep. Xiaokk is forced to pull his peons away from the gold line, and here comes a Dust into Hex. Blade Master probably not going to get out of this alive, or can he? He is pretty much stuck as the War Mill did pretty much block out his only way of escape, and no TP scroll means that is a dead Blade Master. So level 3 Blade Master taken out for Focus, giving level 3 over to the Shadow Hunter of Xiaokk. And that also means more resources dumped into reviving a hero. That is a slight advantage towards the red player here. Armor supplies, 38 for Xiaokk and 45 for Focus. So Focus seemingly having a lot more units than his opponent, despite losing the hero there. He does actually have a Kodo Beast, and I think a lot more Raiders than Xiaokk has. So that could explain it. And of course he revives his Blade Master through the taverns, so he quickly goes back up to 50 here. Xiaokk just going back to farming. Level 3.5 for his Blade Master is gonna take some time, especially with the Shadow Hunter right next to him. It seems like he's actually just gonna give full experience over to the Shadow Hunter, meanwhile he runs away somewhere. Shadow Hunter Focus finally reaches level 3 as well, is gonna pick up a greater healing potion, so that will be helpful whenever it actually comes into play. Hex around onto Blade Master crits, the potion will be greatly helpful for that. Ogre camp at the bottom left is going to be taken down, and the Brilliance Aura gets picked up here for the Blade Master. I'm not entirely sure how useful that aura is on the Orc army, because it hits only the Spirit Walkers and the Shadow Hunter himself. So I don't know how useful that is compared to like another item that the Ogre Lord could have dropped, but we will be seeing it probably for now. Meanwhile, True Shot Aura gets picked up by Xiaok's Blade Master on the top left. So again, only hits the Spirit Walkers and I guess the Kodo Beast, but yeah, I would say it's probably as good as Brilliance Aura right now. Armor Supply's focus is at 60, hopefully wanting to go up to 80 if he ideally wants to. He did finish another Orc Burrow, so he will probably be doing that right now. Double Kodo comp here for focus, and a lot more Spirit Walkers on the way as well. Not too heavy on the Raiders numbers there, but I guess that is understandable. Grunts probably are a stronger option, I guess. Since I guess they do they do well against Raiders? Probably not, I don't know, but I mean, it's not a whole bunch of Raiders, it's only 2 or 3 I think right now for both sides. Does Xiaokk even have a Kodo Beast is what I am wondering. He only has 1. Oh, he does have 2 in fact. So it is going to be a 66 army versus 58. Orc Burrow and Voodoo Lounge already gets taken down here. Hex onto the Blade Master of Xiaokk. Meanwhile, Focus is going right after that Shadow Hunter here. A whole boatload of units are on the screen right now, and it's so hard to actually keep track of things. But the Blade Master of Focus is down to half health, is going to get hexed out, but disenchanted back to normal form. Seems like Kodo Beasts are both of each other's targets here, and it might actually oh, never mind. Healing waves just being tossed left and right here. It seems like Focus is gonna lose his first Kodo Beast, as well as Xiaokk, I guess. And now comes the second one. Xiaokk's Kodo Beast is actually pretty far back, so he is a lot safer compared to Focus's one. But we're looking at the armor supply, about 8 difference here between Focus and Xiaokk. Blade Masters are still pretty healthy on both sides as well. It seems like, despite what I said about Xiaok's Kodo Beast, it does get taken down rather uncontested, and now, oh wow, so many crits in a row coming in from Xiaok's own Blade Master. Purge proc there is going to ensnare him, and that will be a Kodo Beast down for both sides. They are now down to just their Spirit Walkers and Grunts. And the army supply is evened up surprisingly. Shadow Hunter gets assassinated there with a Windwalk strike, but Focus with the ensnare into a crit will be able to take down Xiaok's Blade Master. And honestly, it's Xiaok's Blade Master versus Focus's Xiaok's Shadow Hunter versus Focus's Blade Master, and that is definitely not a 1v1 that you would want if you are the Shadow Hunter. And here we go here. Shadow Hunter and Blade Masters are going to be revived here. Both Shadow Hunters are being chased down. Hex onto the Shadow Hunter of Focus. Will this be enough to actually turn the tides? Focus is focusing down Xiaok's Shadow Hunter, but the problem is he still has to work with the Blade Master of the other side. So even if he takes down the Shadow Hunter, he is so low health. The surround onto the Blade Master of Xiaokk. But it seems like all the Blade Master needs to do is just turn around and wreak havoc against these Shadow Hunters, the Spirit Walkers here, who will be going into their ethereal form. And Xiaokk just waiting, I guess. Waiting on resources. Yep, resources to revive his hero. Oh wait, that's Focus's. Whoopsies. And surprisingly enough, he is fast enough to run away from the Blade Master there. I believe Xiaokk is going to revive his own Shadowhunter, as both sides lose quite a bit, honestly. Xiaokk is sitting on a lot of gold. Might just be saving for that revival here. I think he needs a little bit more lumber. I think the Shadowhunter died at like level 4, I think. So that's why it costs a lot. But, oh, I just realized the level differences here between the Blade Masters. Focus's one is very, very close to Blade Storm level, and that might actually be the turning point here, as Xiaokk is actually going to forego reviving his Shadowhunter, retreating back, and the armor supply should be really different. 40 versus 36, never mind, it's not that different, but right now it doesn't look like Xiaokk has much. Windwalking are right for that ensnare, and well, seems like things are not looking good for Xiaokk, despite having I guess the slightly better early game. It's just that the targets were a little too different. Losing a Blade Master means a lot more than a Shadowhunter, and it does show right now. Of course, it in both levels difference and of course the amount of damage that they do later on. Blade Master versus Blade Master does not seem to be enough here, as another Kodo bites the dust, and that is going to be game. So yeah, that definitely was very messy. Focus just brute forcing it and choosing the better target of going after the Blade Master. So that is going to be that. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys again next time.